Zaxby's new chicken finger tacos. One's smothered with creamy chipotle ranch, and one's got avocado ranch.
Ice up, son. What's up? Ice up, son. What's up? Carolina, keep pounding. Carolina, keep pounding. The Panthers on the prowl, we'll continue driving down the field to the red zone. We just got a first down and 10. Smitty on the loose, wide open Ted again. Stack 6 more on the board, looking like a win. With the 6-game winning streak, put them out their misery. Brady wanna cry when the ref threw the penalty. Panthers got a hot team, Patriots the enemy. Draw the first blood, different team than we used to be. Cam swerving through the traffic signal in a first down. Fans on their feet and the crowd getting really loud. Offense did a job off the field, there's a towel. Bank of America, stadium is going down. Defense got him pushed back to the end zone. Hardy with the sack, that's a safety and we got the ball. Rushing on your shotgun, staring at the barrel, y'all. All New England fans hear him saying that ain't fair. Ice up, son. What's up? Ice up, son. What's up? Carolina, keep pounding. Carolina, keep pounding. Ice up, son. What's up? Ice up, son. What's up? Carolina, keep pounding. Carolina, keep pounding. Better watch the linebacker, he can read you like a book. Run 40 yards just to tackle Luke. Got him shook, Tober like a tank. And D'Angelo with the fake. Stiff arm, out of bounds, 25 to game. Stewart back, healthy 3 lethal running backs. It's suicide at the wide receivers, it's a route. Secret weapon make plays, Greg Olsen make it happen. Keep pounding on these haters, we ain't playing John Madden. Legion of the hometown go boom. Force and fumbles, Panthers making sure the ball is loose. Jack move, Charles Johnson, yeah, he will come attack you. State of mind, mentally and physically, we pass you. Godfrey in the nickel back, and he making sure we're safe. Panthers on the prowl, we gon' come and elevate the state. Hard fought thriller, only 59 seconds left. Panther fans on the feet, heart beating out the chest. Ice up, son. What's up? Ice up, son. What's up? Carolina, keep pounding. Carolina, keep pounding. Ice up, son. What's up? Ice up, son. What's up? Carolina, keep pounding. Carolina, keep pounding. Ice up, son. What's up? Ice up, son. What's up? Carolina, keep pounding. Carolina, keep pounding. Ice up, son. What's up? Ice up, son. Carolina, keep pounding. Carolina, keep pounding.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that bell, select all, leave a comment down below if you feel like doing so. And don't forget to check out the Facebook group page, keep pounding in all caps, for in-game posts, polls, opinions, and reactions to NFL news, as well as scheduling for the channel and for the Yahoo Sports Fantasy Football League. Keep pounding Yahoo Sports Fantasy Football League. We got one spot open until August 15th. It is a raffle for that one spot, so if you're interested in getting in on that, let us know. Put it in chat, put it in the comments on the pin post on the Facebook page about that, and we'll get you entered into that raffle. We'll get you in. All right. The other fantasy football league is not open to the public just yet. We are waiting until the original owner, our Ryan Washington, uh, gets his people in, and then I'll get my people in that I want, and then we'll open it up to our viewers. So, day 10, training camp. And I think that was a very interesting day up there in Charlotte. I went up there personally days 9 and 10 and got to see it myself. Very pleased with the results. We're going to kind of go through all these. I don't have much time, but I will be able to go through the content, before I have other obligations, and then we'll do a game stream later, after my obligations are done. So, let's kind of recount what I saw in day 10 as I was taking notes. If you saw the picture that I posted on Facebook, let me actually bring that up for you so you guys know exactly where I was sitting and what I was able to see. Give me one momento. And as we're game streaming later on, we will talk about preparation for the Patriots game, of course, to open that up before we get into the game. But it'll be 2 separate streams today. If we run out of content for day 10, then we'll jump into that content. If I've got time. If not, then we'll save it for the next stream later on. Where is it? There it is. All right. That's not it. Sometimes my software likes to be a pain in the butt. Sorry about that. Nice shirt. Thank you. Roll coverage. Shout out to you. Shout out to Lark Poppy. Shout out to Donna B. I know she's probably at work right now earning those dollar bills. Go get your money. I don't know why screen capture. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's just being a pain in the rear right now. Let me see. There we go. There we go. All right, so this was what I was able to see from where I was sitting for day 10. And as you can tell, most of the drills were on this side, on the far end. You got your VIP section over here on the far end. Why you need a VIP section for training camp, I don't know. But, it's Tepper, right? Because I don't remember us ever having a VIP section, ever. But, it is what it is. You got your awning, you got the seating that looks like bleachers of a high school game, and the staff is very, very strict and just watching you at all times. It's Tepper's people, you know, and I mean the security is much tighter, and they're much more strict, as far as like how long these players could get autographs for. As soon as they're done, it's just like, oh, you need to leave, you need to leave, you need to leave, you need to leave. Like they rush you out. Like I don't understand why you have to rush these people out. Yeah, we're leaving on our own. Come on now. But over here you can see kind of the offensive lineman working over here. You got some of the pass defenders over here lined up. The quarterbacks ended up over in that corner for a little bit, and they did some 11 on 11 drills on that side. So it kind of got interesting as far as that goes because when they went into that back fourth corner uh, of the field there in the very back towards the VIP section, you couldn't see anything. And I couldn't get numbers, I couldn't get anything. And it was frustrating because, you know, I like to keep an eye on these players, and find out who's doing what, and I couldn't, there's no way you're going to be able to see the numbers from all the way over here. No way. All right, so shout out to Quacks. He says if we win 4 games this season, it would be a miracle. I have to say, we'll see. We shall see. You know, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised, Quacks. But I see that Cam Newton jersey in front of me. And shout out to the older gentleman that I met at training camp yesterday. He probably has subscribed to me or followed me now. But and by the way, thank you for that. But we had a pleasant conversation and it was very nice. I like meeting people, and he didn't even realize I was a YouTuber at the time, but it was fun talking to him. It's fun comparing notes, from what we're seeing now up in Charlotte versus what we saw in Spartanburg. So fun stuff. But one of the questions I had was they put some extra padding on halfway through practice, and I was trying to figure out what that extra padding was for. You know, was it for specific drills? What was it for? And I tried asking one of the running backs, and he said he didn't know. So if the player doesn't know, the staff is not going to know either. So there's really no point in asking the staff at that point. I just wanted to know what that extra padding was for, though. But yeah, that was my second time missing a chance at a Bryce Young autograph, and I was very disappointed because you've got the kids section, and then he stops at the end of the kids section. So if you're in that boxed area, right at the end of the kids section, you're not getting an autograph. So try to get over to the left of that kids section, you might get one. That's my tip for anyone going. Because he always starts from like the left to the right. I managed to get Thielen. I managed to get a few different autographs, so it was very nice. The autographs part of it felt the same, as it did in Spartanburg. Same general feeling and experience, and I love that. They tried to copy as much of Spartanburg as they could and put it into this, but at the same time, Spartanburg is Spartanburg. You know what I mean? There's a few things you can't replicate. And one of them is the fan experience when you are actively talking to the players, and just that's something that it's either there or it isn't. You know, when they brought this up to Charlotte, and thankfully it is. So let's get into this. I saw O-line drills, and Icky looked okay at first. Taylor needed to work on his footwork, but I mean, overall, starting out, it looked fine. I didn't have any real question marks, as far as that goes until later on. You had a beautiful screen pass to Deontay, that went about 10, 15 yards. That was pretty cool. Good blocking. You know, I felt like the blocking schemes were there. The blocking lanes were there. Good footwork, good technique. I liked what I saw. You know, and as far as run blocking, I think it's there. It's definitely there. So it's the pass protection we need to be looking at this point, because the run blocking has been consistently, you know, doing what it's supposed to be doing. Um, throughout camp, I've seen video after video on the internet, before I even went there, and all of it looked consistent as far as the run stop. Even on fan day, it looked consistent. So I'm not concerned about, creating running lanes, any of that. Now that's not an excuse to start getting lazy with it, and start screwing that up. Stay consistent. When I'm pointing out good things, stay with it. All right. But I like what I see so far. Carry that into the Patriots game, and I think we should be able to run pretty decently. We've got good running backs, such as Miles. Miles Sanders has been having a good camp so far. He had a good counter run that led to some excellent blocking lanes for him. So then Bryce comes out and he throws a good medium pass, to number 11. And I gotta get my let me get my roster. Some of these numbers I wrote down, and I just didn't have time to get the names. But I'm fumbling and bumbling right now. Hold on. It happens. It happens. Um, let's see. You weren't even able to see that, were you? You weren't even able to see. What happened to it? Okay. I don't know. But whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't need the visual now. Point is, you got ISM getting involved finally, and on a what 15, 20 yard pass, something like that. It looked good. Davis Chris says, let's get that W tomorrow. I know it's preseason, but I don't care. Yeah, I agree. I don't like the Patriots in any form or fashion, so I would like to get a win, even in preseason. If we don't, we don't. It's preseason. I'm not going to get mad at that, but point is, I'd like to get it. Couple more good runs, opening up that run blocking. And then you saw a throw on the run, on the rollout by Jack. And because we are putting in Jack and we're not putting in Bryce for the game tomorrow, that really speeds up my evaluation process of Jack, which I'm not thrilled with. Because I'd like to see 2 or 3 series with Bryce because of the fact that he is throwing some hospital balls, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it, folks. I'm not going to repeat what everybody else is saying. I'm going to tell you like how it is. This is what I saw. You know what I mean? Everybody else is going to paint the narrative. Oh, Bryce Young is actually doing pretty good. All these passes are going on target. And they may have been before Monday, but Monday and Tuesday, I saw some overthrows. I saw some high point balls that would get our wide receivers in trouble. And I don't like it. So I need him to lower that ball just a couple of inches, man. Just a couple inches. It's nowhere near as bad as some of the other quarterbacks that came in here and were throwing hospital balls. It's not like that. But, some of these passes, yes, you do want to require the wide receiver to go for a high point ball. But every once in a while, like it depends on the coverage and what the blocking scheme is and what type of offensive play call you have. So, and the speed of the wide receiver, of course. If the wide receiver is able to high point the ball, then yes, try to do that, but don't go overboard with it. And the problem is Bryce was going overboard with it. So I'm a little concerned with that. But I think if he can bring that ball down just a couple of inches, then I think Bryce will be all right because he was targeting and hitting these passes. It's not like he wasn't. But at the same time, like you gotta wonder. Is it his technique? Is it his arm? What's going on here? But I'm not going to sit here and act like everybody else and say, oh, yeah, Bryce is fine. Bryce is fine. I've always been that out of the box YouTuber that just tells you like it is. Like, they're going to say, oh, these passes were on target, this, that, and the third. I'm like, okay. Weren't y'all saying about 5 minutes ago that Bryce Young is terrible and he's too short to play the game? Y'all the same ones. Don't act like you weren't. All right, so I don't want to hear from the choir right now, because I'm gonna tell you like it is. David Screw says I want to see some improvements in preseason compared to last year. I mean, major improvements. Yeah, you'll definitely see that. If any of you were at Fan Day, if any of you were at the training camp days, you'll see the improvement. It's definitely there. And I'm going to get to that because I've got a lot of notes here. So bear with me. And this is a good thing because I wanted to go through these notes with you because this is more content than you would have gotten if I had not been there. So let's talk about Jack real quick since he's taken over and starting. I like Jack so far. I think he's got the skills to be a solid backup. He's reminded me of Teddy Bridgewater a lot. He's more of a game manager, and that's both a good and a bad thing because you want a game manager in your roster, but not as a starter. And the fact that we're shutting down Bryce means we're putting in a game manager, and that's not good considering what we did before. We had Sam Darnold, we had Baker Mayfield, we had Teddy Bridgewater, who are all game managers, under the previous coaches. But under a proper coach, these guys are more than that. So I want to see what Dave Canales can actually bring out of this dude, once we're actually able to let it fly on deep passing. Because I haven't seen that from Jack yet. The 2 days that I was there, I never saw a deep pass. And I need to see a deep pass from Jack during the game. So that's one of the things I'm expecting out of this Patriots game coming up. I want to evaluate that. And I'll let you know what I think, during the live stream reaction of the game. But it's good to know the man can throw on the run. It's good to know he can run, at a decent speed. It's good to know this offensive line will block for him. He's got chemistry with the line. Whether it be first team, second team, or third string, he's got connections with these guys. He's got chemistry. So I like Jack. And Rashad Penny shows that he has good speed, good maneuverability, good footwork. I like Rashad Penny. I like what I saw, and that's my first impression of him. I had not previously looked at him yet because he was not really involved in plays on Monday. So we talked about Bryce being a little high on the deep balls and the intermediate passes. So, like I said, a little concern there. He can hit the short passes on target, not a problem. Right where the ball's supposed to be. So if you're just looking to move the sticks, with a simple slant play or an out route, he can do that for you so far. But we still got to work on those deep passes. And don't let the media tell you what we can and cannot do. We were throwing deep balls. It's just they were properly defended because this secondary is doing an excellent job defending deep balls. And that's not a media narrative, folks. That's what's really happening. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Don't act like it's a media narrative. I don't feed into media narratives. I tell you exactly what I see when I'm there. So, there was a good quick release pass to 31. And I'm still learning some of these names, so bear with me. Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson was the wide receiver on that one. And I was very, very pleased with that pass because it showed okay, 2-step drop, flick, That's what we're looking for. Now, if he can do that on intermediate passes and just take that extra fraction of a second, like that 0.6 of a second, and just and hit his target, we're in business. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm looking for Bryce to do. And if he can get that ball down just a couple of inches, we're good. I don't mind these wide receivers high pointing the ball, but just get the ball a little bit lower. That's all I'm asking for. So that these guys won't end up like Keith Kirkwood last year in camp. You guys remember I told you we had PJ Walker. That was what, 3-4 years ago? 2-3 years ago? Something like that. I don't remember the exact year. I think it was 21. I want to say 21. But Keith Kirkwood went up for a high point ball that was way over his head. I'm talking this man had to climb a ladder to get this thing because it was so high. And it was inconsistent high ball, hospital ball throws the entire day. And I was like, PJ, you're going to get somebody killed. You're going to get somebody put in a freaking stretcher, man. And sure enough, Keith Kirkwood goes up, climbs the ladder, and puts his whole body at risk and gets injured. And I'm like, Please don't blame Keith Kirkwood for that. That's PJ. That's PJ making the man climb a ladder. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we don't want. And I'm not saying that these balls are that high. What I'm saying is, it's just a tad bit high. And all I need you to do, Bryce, is just tone it down. Once you get it down, flick, flick, flick. You know? Then we start to build tempo, during an 11-on-11 drill, all the way down the field. First down, first down, first down. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're looking for. And once those coverages open up, flick, with the extra 0.6 seconds, So that's what I'm looking for. And if I see that when Bryce finally does get playing time during an actual live game, not the Patriots game because we're chosen to shut him down. We'll get back to that. But once he finally gets his reps, that's what I need to see. So then we had the 11-on-11 drills, and 66 allowed pressure. That would be Nash Jensen. I haven't really had any issues with Nash Jensen. I've been watching him. But he did not look good in the 11-on-11s early. You had Cade Mays that looked good. I know what this section is. Okay. This was when we had all 5 of the offensive linemen lined up, and you'd have one pass rusher just test each one, poking holes, trying to find out which one of these offensive linemen in each row was going to get pushed around, So it was a one-on-one kind of deal. And like I said, Nash Jensen early on in that drill, allowed pressure, not what you're looking for, but typical of a guy that low on the depth chart, that's been that low. Practice squad, maybe, possible cut, That's what's been going on with Nash. We've had him on our practice squad for a while because he's shown enough skills to make sure that he stays on that practice squad. But it's still a work in progress. So Cade Mays, being one of my guys, did really well, took care of his business, and you threw in Badar Thorne here, or Terrell. I can't even say that last name, but it's Badara. I name him Badara. But it's number 76. Whiffed his tackle complete. This is a training camp body. That we were hoping would turn into a depth piece. But, I mean, maybe he whiffs today. Maybe he starts doing better tomorrow. Who knows? We'll take a look at him in game and see what he does. Andrew Rom finally gets his chance. And, I mean, he looked good, man. I like the block. I like the hand placement, the footwork. And they showed it right in front of us, too. Right in front of the general admission area. Right where we could take a look at it, And I was like, thank you. Thank you. You just gave me a tool in my tool belt to really look at these guys. Whereas I would not be able to do that on the other side of the field. So thank you. So now I get a chance to check these guys out. and see what we're actually dealing with. So you got Nash Jensen pushed back again. So, I mean, again, work in progress. Icky finally gets his shot. At first, he looked okay on the first time around. Second time around, looked rough. And it was more so the hand placement and just he got so handsy that it got ridiculous. And I was like, you're doing too much, Icky. You're doing too much. Calm down. You know, focus on the block. Focus on who you're blocking. Set your feet, dig in, and take care of business. You know, I love the anticipation. I love the energy. But focus on your fundamentals. Transfer that to fundamentals now. And back to Taylor Moton. 2 footsie on the blocks. As a result, he missed. And missed his block completely. And I had concerns, man. This dude is got happy feet, and it's a big problem. So when you got the happy feet, these guys are going to take control of you. That are pass rushers. And when you don't keep the hands engaged, these guys just put their arms up, and can block anything they want. I call it the YMCA pose. Don't let them do the YMCA pose on you. YMCA. Sorry, I had to take the opportunity. But, that's what it is, man. You can't let these guys do whatever they want. You've got to maintain control if you're an offensive lineman. You've got one job. So this was where they started putting on the extra padding. Did 7-on-7s, where they moved to the other side of the field, and I didn't get a look at them. So my question is, how did they do? I don't know. So if anybody scored or did anything over there, I didn't see it. It is what it is. The false starts are continuing. They've cut those down a good chunk, since Monday, but it's still a concern. It's costing us yardage. Dave Canales alluded to it in a press conference. And unfortunately, yes, that is correct and true. Because I saw it with my own eyes. Somebody did get a touchdown, but I couldn't see who got it. I did notice that on the other side of the field. So add that in my notes. Then they started doing kicking drills. The thicker kicker got his shot. Made 3 right down the middle, and then missed 1. It was a hook to the left side, or no, it was actually a slice to the right side of the goal post. If you're looking from behind that said kicker, and thicker kicker. I just love saying that. I'm sorry. Thicker kicker. Just cracks me up every time. But that nickname is never going to go away. But he redeemed himself and got the last one, from a long distance. Eddie, however, made every single one. And again, I'm telling you, Eddie is going to win this competition. And that's no disrespect to Mr. Thicker Kicker over there, that's been making kicks too. But Eddie has been nailing them. He's back. Eddie's back. And I'm excited because he did miss one deep one. But I mean, he had to go back, what, 45, 50 yards to miss it, you know? And it did go right. But still, point being, Eddie's back. And we should get excited about that because this dude did not miss when he was healthy. It was very rare. So I'm very pleased with that. Back to Jack. Um, I think his ball placement on short passing and medium throws are excellent. It was right on target. He was hitting his targets, and it looked good, man. It looked real good. Like I said, he reminds me of Teddy Bridgewater. Every throw that I saw, every rollout, every run reminded me of Teddy Bridgewater. And that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. But you still got the limitations of Teddy Bridgewater as well. So it goes both ways. Because Teddy never was able to throw deep balls. But I mean, if Jack can prove that he can throw deep balls, okay, we're in business, man. We're in business. This dude can do everything that we're asking him to do, and it's going to be a solid second string. But Bryce did recover, and he got a great corner touchdown pass. I forget who it was that got it. I believe it was TMJ, actually. Yeah, TMJ. So finally, TMJ, 2 days in a row, getting himself involved, showing up, being who he is, and I'm pleased with that. I'm very pleased. Dave Canales is starting to get Mingo involved. He's starting to get TMJ involved. He's starting to get all these people that have been hidden on this roster involved. That Frank never could get anything going with because he didn't know what to do. But I was very impressed with that touchdown pass because, look, man, there were a lot of coverages on that play to where Bryce had to roll out, and didn't give up on the play. He waited to the last second to find that touchdown pass and hit it right on target, right at the corner of the end zone. And I was like, yes, that's what we want to see. If I see more of those passes, we're on target. We're on target for some major improvement with Bryce. And I mean, that's much better than he was doing last year. He only hit half of those passes last year. He wasn't rolling out that much, with consistency hitting targets. He was just rolling out. And that's the problem. So, that being said, that's an improvement. There was a pass deflection, and he threw it behind one of the wide receivers, Taylor. I forget his first name, but Taylor, yes. When he was crossing over into the end zone, from the left to the right. And I already mentioned Taylor. Taylor looked bad as far as like trying to protect people and keeping the defender's hands engaged. Every single time I saw him on that drive, that defender's hands went wide up, right up in the air. And when I'm looking at that instead of Bryce Young, every single play, that's a problem. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a problem. So if I got to pay attention to Taylor Moton before I pay attention to Bryce, no. When you're looking at a drive on a game day, your eyes need to be on that quarterback first, then the O line. when that ball is snapped, right? Because then your eyes go to the protection. Is the protection solid? Is the pocket solid? Then you go right back to the quarterback. Okay, what is the quarterback seeing? Options A, B, C, and D. Are they open? Or are they not? That's when your eyes go to the wide receivers and the tight ends. In that order. If you're really paying attention to the game, like with detail, some people just watch the game. But the thing is, when you're watching with detail, there are so many things that you can pay attention to, so many little details that you wouldn't see if you were just watching the game casually. And that's one of them. That was a great short pass to number 83. And they did a punting drill to finish up. So 83 is David Moore. I've been noticing David Moore getting more and more involved on Monday and Tuesday. So I'm very pleased with that. Overall, great practice. I saw the effort, I saw the motivation, I saw the energy that I was looking for. And I saw about, I would say 75% of that practice, which is good. I didn't care for about the warm-ups, the stretches and all that. Yeah. And I got there before the 7-on-7s. So, right before, which is perfect timing. I don't know whether they did any 7-on-7s before that. Hopefully they didn't. But, if they didn't, then I didn't really miss anything. It's because of the Charlotte traffic, really. I had trouble getting there. It's Charlotte, it's downtown Charlotte. And I didn't realize that they had a parking lot like right next to the training camp, so practice fields. So that was something I learned.
Did you want this turkey sandwich in the refrigerator?
Yes, he is. All right. But yeah, there were a few things that I noticed that I didn't notice before trying to get into training camp. So it made it a little bit smoother of an experience, but I just didn't feel like it was the same experience as Spartanburg. I'm sorry, I just didn't feel it. But to each their own, right? Some people felt it, some people didn't. I will say thank you for the awning that you put over the fans, to protect us from the heat, protect us from the weather. That's awesome. It helps out with the rain and stuff like that. So very cool. And the parking wasn't even that much. It was like $11, right? If you were up there, shoot, I'd pay 11. It's not a problem. The parking spots were very reasonable. And the parking was very reasonable. So, I did get to meet a few people this time around, but that's part of the experience of training camp is meeting new people and just like moving around and talking to people. When you had the grassy knoll. And I didn't get a chance to really do that because we were all sitting in the stands, just sitting in the bleachers like it's a high school game. I'm like, nah, man, nah. Let us move around, dude. It's, let me network, man. Let me talk to people, you know? And I just felt like we were just like rats in a cage, like, I don't know. I didn't like that. That's just me, you know? There's certain things I would like to see replicated if they move it back to South Carolina. Certain things I would not, and that's one of them I would not. But, yeah, that's just me. Maybe that's just the way I feel about it, but, it's the way it is. Anyway, we made a transaction and we got a safety And we also waived the wide receiver from Kentucky for a tight end. I'll talk more about those two players in the second stream. But I just want to say thank you guys so much for joining me. And I'll see you guys in the second stream for the gameplay. We're going to be playing Once Human. And that game is free on Epic Games website. So if you want to go get that, that's on the same website that Rocket League is on. And that's free as well. Just download that to your computer and you can play it. All right, guys. Shout out Donna B. Shout out Like Poppy. Shout out Roll Coverage. Shout out David Screws. We'll see you guys in the second stream. All right, guys. And we'll be covering preparation for the New England game and just gameplay in general. Thank you guys for all your support. Thank you for your love. And as always, stay happy.